Hi, welcome to Glitter Glue and Fairy Dust. This is Amy, and today it is all about trees. I'm going to show you a few different ways that I've made Christmas trees for my home. So this sign is one that I got from the Dollar Tree. All my supplies, except for the paint and the glue gun, are from the Dollar Tree. I saw these signs, I knew they looked like the perfect tree shape, so I took my hairdryer and took the labels off and also the hangers and kept them. Now I was going to originally use this front side of the sign, but the wording just didn't come off that good, and so I decided to use the back side. Once I got all of the embellishments and the tags off, then I just put one coat of Waverly chalk paint in the color Sage, and you could see that there was still some residual of the tag, but you cannot see it after the chalk paint. It actually covers it. Now I decided to use my Cricut, and I cut out basically a little, it said "Oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree," and I have a Cricut. However, if you don't have a Cricut, don't worry, you can still make something similar to this. You can use stencils. You could use markers that are different colors, either white or glitter pens from the Dollar Tree. You can use anything really to create something similar to this or create this exactly. Now, if you're using a Cricut, sometimes the weeding process can be a little bit difficult when you use lettering that's a little bit smaller. So I did work with this for a minute. Once I got it taken off, everything taken off and weeded, then I put my transfer tape on it. Now, one thing about transfer tape, first you want to make sure that you burnish down your wording really good on both sides. So you'll see me take my scraper and scrape it, and then turn it around. Now, when you are doing your transfer tape, you always want to try to remove the backing from the transfer tape, not the other way around. You see me starting it that way? Wrong way. It's a lot easier if you turn it around and take the backing off of the transfer tape. Now, sometimes you may still have to try to keep those words down with your little scraper, but once you get a rhythm and an angle that works for it, it usually comes off really easily. Just be a little bit patient. Now, on this one, as I took it off, I did lose one of the dots to the first eye. Now, I noticed it and found it immediately. If something like this should happen to you and you cannot find your eye, don't redo everything. Just take the eye off the other word that has one and no one knows the difference. However, if you can ever say the dot to your eye, try to do it. Now this is just a really simple project. At first I thought I might put some white on it to look like snow. I was planning on maybe doing some other embellishments, but at the end of the day I just wanted it to be kind of a simple abstract tree, and that's what I ended up with. So you see me slowly removing everything, and then I'm going to place it on the sign. I'm not pushing it down yet, I'm just placing it lightly so I can see if I like it. Now what you always see me doing on my projects is lifting them up to make sure it looks just as good standing up as it does laying down. You'll notice the back looks pretty terrible. I am not giving this to anybody, nor am I selling it. So I was okay with the back being that way, but if you were going to give it away or sell it, definitely make the back clean. Either put some paper on the back of it or take all of that paper off. You never want to give someone an ugly back. So once I got the transfer tape where I wanted, it looked good, I centered it, put it down, and I took the transfer tape off. And I always put my transfer tape back on my backing because you can use it more than once. And there's where I noticed my eye. My dot to my eye was missing, so I picked it off the backing and I put it on. I had to work a little harder than I should have for that dot, but with time and patience, it did eventually stick. So while I'm working with this dot to the eye, we thank you for stopping by today. I know you have a lot of places that you can stop and spend your time, so I'm glad you stopped here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you come back week after week, thank you so much for your support. It means so much. And here's what this little abstract tree looks like when you're finished. I really like how it turned out. Now I'm on to 3 trees. I decided I wanted to make some of the styrofoam trees, but now I get my supplies from the Dollar Tree. It's kind of a movement. I do it on purpose. I could not find the large foam Christmas trees, so I did find these Christmas trees at the Dollar Tree, or their floral foam, but I decided I thought that I could do something with them, so I painted one of them in peacock. It's Waverly chalk paint, and the other one I did in the sandstone. Now these jewel decorations I got from the Dollar Tree. They come on a roll, and I knew that because of the type of shape this is, it would be hard if I tried to go up and down straight with this, so I put it on, kind of wrapping it around the way you would a garland, and I just added another piece next to the place where I started and just continued on wrapping it on a diagonal. I put some glue, not too much because you can melt foam, just enough to keep your decoration on there, and I attached it to the bottom. I didn't have to attach any glue in the middle. And then I started right underneath the next one, and I rolled that around on a diagonal as well. And I apologize, this is not as in frame as I'd like it to be, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Now, once you kind of get this all on, you do have to fill a few holes, and you can just do that by cutting these jewels off of the roll and placing them in those spots. It really was very easy. Now, I had picked up several different things that I might embellish these trees with. You can see I've got some little blue tinted pearls, if you will, down there. I had several different ideas, but at the end of the day, I decided to do all of them pretty different. So this one I did with the jewels. And see, you can see it's pretty full here, but there's just a couple areas where I have to put in some filler, but you cannot tell that's what I've done. It looks like they just went on that way. And because I wanted it to be able to sit flat, I did kind of try to cut them so that they weren't on the bottom as much. Now, I didn't necessarily need to do that, but at the time I really wanted it to be able to sit flat, so no matter how I put it, it would be able to sit. Now you can see there's just a couple holes on a few of the areas. Here I go, I'm just cutting separate little jewels and placing them in. And a couple on the top. Now I didn't worry about putting points on the tops of the trees or stars. I knew that everybody would understand that these are supposed to be Christmas trees. Now the one that I painted in the peacock color, I took some ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. It looks almost like something that's been crocheted. It's kind of a little lacy and frilly. Start at the top, and I just wrapped all the way down. I'm putting a little bit of glue here and there, not a lot because you can burn the foam, but just enough to hold it in place as I wind it on. A little hot, as you can see. Now, a lot of these embellishments I have had from previous projects. They go a long way. You can keep them in a little place and use them over and over again. So I did have several different kind of embellishments, as you can see, that I was maybe going to use on these. And I have been to my local Dollar Trees recently, and they still have all of these things. So these are things that you can find all year round. Now, I am going to embellish this little tree with some pearls that I got from the Dollar Tree on a roll, and I got them around, I think, Valentine's Day. I don't know if you can find these exact pearls in the Dollar Tree right now. However, I do know that you can find pearls that are either single pearls that you can put on, so you can achieve this same look. Now you can see I'm trying to decide exactly what I want to do. Again, crafting is about changing course and making the best decision in the time. So I really like this. I used the whole roll, and I just wind it around, placing a little bit of glue here and there just to make sure that everything didn't fall off. I apologize, again, it's not as in screen as I'd like it to be, but you can see what I'm doing here. And also, I did not worry about making the triangle on top or making it look pointed on top because I knew that everybody would know this is a Christmas tree. So I just wound it around. I wanted it to kind of be loose and not look like I was going, you know, that it was perfect matches. Now I actually used 2 rolls on this. I rolled the second roll from about 2/3 of the way down. I rolled it and then I actually went back up. The third tree I did not paint. I actually left it white and I wrapped it in the chenille yarn that I got from the Dollar Tree. To my crafting bestie at Life and Stitches, Stephanie, that is for you. If you have a joy for yarn arts or you like to see them done or want to be part of a community, go check out Stephanie at Life and Stitches. Tell her I stopped by. Just with the others on this, I put a little dab of glue at the top. Not too much, didn't want to melt it, but I did put a big enough dab that it'd hold it on. And then I just rolled it. Now my Dollar Tree does not always have pip berries, but I got a little bit lucky this year and found some. At first I thought I might use the gold pip berries that I had gotten, but I decided to use the red, so I did use 1 whole roll of the pip berries for this one. The camera gave me a little trouble. I had to stop and start again, but I decided to speed it up because I knew you could see what I was doing here. So I just rolled it around, trying to cover everything. And as you can see, I did put a little bit of glue here and there just to make sure that it's stuck and that I'm not overlapping or not getting something on any of the tree so that it's all covered. And at the bottom, I glued it down and I decided to use the red pip berries, but I wanted the top of this to be just a little bit different. I did have a hard time unrolling this for some reason. It was being a little crazy, but oh, where'd it go? Well, I'm not sure what happened there. But here you can see I'm just wrapping it around. I do use the whole roll, and there's really no set way to do this, obviously. It's to taste. I just wanted to make sure that there were berries everywhere, and you could see that that was the decoration. I did kind of have some sticking out of the top on purpose. I kind of wanted it to just look a little different from the others. And I just made sure to glue the top down so that it didn't go anywhere. So I did, you can see me here, I'm just trying to push it into the foam so that it won't go anywhere. So at my Dollar Tree, I have never been able to find the little sticks. Mine, I actually found some, so I did buy some, and that's what I put on the bottom of the trees. Now one of the trees I left with no, I did put a bottom on it, but then when I looked at it, I decided to take it off, and I did use different heights because I wanted them all to look different. So here's the sticks, I don't know what you call them. I tell you, it was almost like I had won the lottery. Everybody I ever watched has the sticks from the Dollar Tree, and although it seems silly to buy them, I was on a mission. I really wanted some, so when I saw them, I snatched them up. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I did know that for Christmas, they were perfect. And here you can see me trying to decide what size to use. Obviously I wanted them all to look a little bit different, and they had to be able to stand up because I'm not going to glue them down to a base. They're just going to sit freely. So I maybe could have sped this up a little bit. But since we're here, let's just enjoy the time. Apparently I'm having to ruminate on this a little bit. Not sure what I'm doing. Okay. So I have narrowed the candidates down a little bit. And just like when I did the decorations, you do want to put a good dollop of glue on the bottom of your trunk because you don't want it to come off. However, you can melt it, so don't, try not to put too much. However, you can use that to your advantage if your trunk doesn't want to sit straight up. You can kind of use that to your advantage. So make sure that as you're gluing it, that it'll stand up straight. And if not, you can push the glue a little bit into the foam and it'll stick better. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for Christmas this year. It's been snowing where I am, which is fantastic. It really makes the season feel like it's here. So these are kind of some of my last minute decorations for our Christmas table and just some of the things that I'm trying to put out in my house. I have not gotten my Christmas tree up yet, but I'm sure working on it. Here you can see I'm fiddling with it a little bit, and I kind of push it a little bit into the foam to make sure it'll stand up. Obviously this one's giving me a little bit harder of a time, but there it is, standing up straight. And here's what they look like done. You can see I took the trunk off of the white one, but I did like the fact that they were 3 different sizes, and here's what they look like finished. Now, this is the last project that I have for the trees. And I wanted to make a mason jar Christmas tree ornament stand. So I got my little lids from the Dollar Tree. They are the smaller lids, so I just need to make sure my ornaments would fit in them. Now I'm showing you the wrong way to do it. So with these, I wanted to glue them together, and I wanted the side that looked smaller looking at it. I don't know how to explain this, but the side that I have it on now is what I wanted to be the side that you would see. So I'm trying to glue these together just with the little bit of a lip that's on the bottom of that. And it does adhere to each other, but there's just not enough surface area the way that I'm doing it. So at the end of the day, I do end up kind of taking this apart this way and gluing them to the thicker part of each lid. Now that does make things look a little janky at first, but it's much more stable, and once you get your ornaments on there, you will not notice it. So here is going to be the back. This is what the back will look like, and as you can see, I'm trying to just very lightly glue those lips together, and it's just not enough surface of the glue. You'll need 2 packages of the lids at the Dollar Tree, and I don't know if you can get them at all of them, but you can also get these kind of lids at the Walmart. So if you can't get them at your Dollar Tree, you can get some at the Walmart. Now I also got 2 packages of the ornaments from the Dollar Tree. They were the small ornaments, and I got the gold and pink color. I'm really fascinated with that right now. So once I got all of them glued together in the shape that I liked, I used 5 on the bottom, and then I went up from there, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, you can see everything's glued together. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to show you. I'm going to have such a hard time keeping it together. And that's because there's just not enough glue on the surface area of everything. And I tried different methods. I tried soldering. I tried I tried several different ways. So I just decided to glue them to the larger part of the lid, and it worked. Now, when I glued all the little ornaments, I wanted the ornament holder to go under the lip of the lid so that it would look like it was completely floating. So you can see I'm just putting glue on the ornament, the top of the ornament, and then I'm sticking it to the very inside lip, and that makes it look like it's just floating there. And I decided to do just one row of one color and one row of another color all the way down. Now I zoomed in on it right here just so that you can see where I was gluing it. Now this is when I decided it was not steady enough. I took it apart and glued it again, and now I need to glue my ornaments in. So I'm just doing it the same way that I did it before, putting a dollop of glue on, and then I'm gluing it to the inside lip so it looks like it's floating. And you can see I'm maneuvering this a lot more than I did the other one. It's a lot more steady. Same, I used the exact same lids, exact same decorations. I just put it together again. Now, I realize in the perfect world, we wouldn't have to redo or reimagine things, but I want to be real with my crafting. Sometimes you have to adjust, and I did, and it worked out just fine. It's one of my favorite decorations this year. On top of the ornaments and the mason jar lids, I did get a star ornament from the Dollar Tree as well to use on the top. And then I had a wood piece that I got from the Dollar Tree that I painted in the color sage green to act as the stand. So you see me picking it up and putting it back down. The reason for that is that you cannot get the little holder on top, I don't know what to call it, the top of the ornament, you can't actually get it to connect with the lip of the lid unless you lift it up a little bit. It glues really fast, but you do need to lift it up. Now that I've got everything kind of lifted up in the air, it's a lot easier. I don't have to pick it up because I've done all the corners. So on the last few, all you have to do is just glue them in place. Make sure you put enough glue that it'll hold. You won't be able to see it if you do it right because it's on the back of the lid. So there you can see it's done, and they do look like they're floating. I already had this piece of wood painted in a pink color. I decided I wanted to use the sage. I just used one coat, and I just did all around. So I'm not sure why I decided to do this at this speed. I should have sped this up a little bit because you can all see what I'm doing and you all know how to do it. But since we're here, let's just finish this out. Once I put the one coat on, I did just let it dry, and then I could glue the tree to it. So the star, all I did was take the tag off, and then I just put a dollop of glue on the middle so it would kind of, you'll see how I said it, put a big dollop of glue on and hold it on until it dries. And it's great. There I'm just cutting off the little loop that would hold it on the tree because I don't need that, I'm using the glue. Here you can see how I'm going to glue it on. As always, I lift things up to make sure they look good standing up as well as sitting down. Put a big dollop of glue on there. And just attach it. Obviously, you want as much surface glue holding on to that mason jar as you can get. And again, I'm picking it up to make sure it looks good. And I'm putting some more glue on it as well. Nope. There I we go. Gonna hold it on there just a little bit longer. And just make sure you get all the glue strings off of it. Here I am just gluing it as much of the surface of the bottom of the mason jars as you can get. Now, you can see I kind of am working with them a little bit because of the way that they were glued. They do not all sit the same way. However, once you get it glued to the base, you can never tell. And here it is finished. I proudly display this by my front door. It is one of my favorite decorations this year. Hey, I want to thank you for stopping by and supporting me the way you do. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again next week.